C'est pas tous les jours qu'on voit ça. C'est des stingrays, ils vont les nourrir à 10h10. C'est quasiment 10h10 comme c'est là. Puis il y a des fois qu'ils passent qu'on peut les flatter. Puis il y a des fois qu'on les... c'est comme s'ils veulent nous manger aussi. Allô, tiens, regarde là. Allô. Regarde lui, regarde lui.
Regarde elle, elle s'en vient.
Ah, cool.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
My name is Maggie. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the inhabitants of Stingray Lagoon. I'm going to open the floor to any questions, and then I'm going to let you guys feed them. Really excited. They know what time it is. Look, they're swimming up along this wall. They're trained to eat up along this wall.
Ah, c'est ça, t'avais raison.
As they swim by, but I'm just going to ask you to be very careful. They have very sensitive skin. No fingernails. Be careful with rings. Just use the pads of your fingers to feel them. They are very sensitive. So the animals we have here are southern stingrays. They're probably the most common type of ray you'll find around St. Thomas. And all of the animals in this exhibit are female. Just the luck of the draw, they're all girls. These guys spend most of their day buried in the sand. And that has a twofold purpose. First, like I said, they have very sensitive skin, and they actually can get sunburned, which for them results in open sores that can leave them vulnerable to infection. So they bury themselves in the sand for sunscreen. They also do it for protection from predators. Their main predators are sharks. And sharks see contrast very well, so a dark gray on top of light sand makes them a very easy target. The main thing that's going to be going after these guys are hammerhead sharks. They use that big broad head to pin the ray down and take bites out. These guys are a mid-level predator, so they do eat other animals, but they do like crustaceans and little worms and things they find in the sand. But they are also preyed upon by sharks. And hi, pretty girl. This one is so cute. Isn't she little? I love her.
C'est des femelles.
They are. They're really wonderful.
Toutes des
They're very
femelles.
docile. So these guys are these are light animals, so they will try and swim away as fast as they can if possible. They are not aggressive, and they certainly don't want to fight. So their first defense mechanism is going to be speed. Now, if they simply cannot get away, and swimming away is not an option, they will employ their barb. They have a barb that's located about a third of the way down the tail from the body. It's about this long. You can kind of see it when they change direction. And it's very dark because it's covered in skin that's full of venom cells.
Wow.
Now, when they're being pinned down into the sand by a predator, they're going to take that barb and they're going to whip it up and into the predator. Now, the barb is serrated along the edges, so it goes into the flesh of the predator and it stays there. Which actually brings me to the problems with using the barb as defense. So, because that barb sticks in the predator, it usually rips out of the stingray, which is very painful. It would be like one of us getting a fingernail ripped out. It's not fun for them. It also causes them to bleed, which is not great when you're being chased by sharks. Makes it easier for them to find you. Also, it can leave them vulnerable to infection because it is an open wound, and it can take about 9 months for that barb to grow back. So the stingray is actually defenseless until that barb grows back. So they really only will use that barb in the most dire of circumstances, only if they feel that their life is threatened and there's no other way out. If you see one of these guys in the wild, just give them the space they need as a wild animal. Just give them the respect they deserve, and you will have no problem. If you're swimming in shallow water with a sandy bottom, just make sure you shuffle your feet. That'll let any rays buried in the sand know that you're coming and give them plenty of time to get away. But should you have an unfortunate encounter with these animals, it's important to know that the venom is not considered life-threatening, and the anti-venom is actually hot water. So, it's pretty readily available. You really have nothing to worry about with these guys. They're docile and they're cute. So, with all that being said, does anybody have any questions about stingrays before we start the feeding?
Do these suck, when you feed them by hand?
out in the water. A lot of these stingrays have a suction.
They do feed via suction, but we feed them up along this wall. So we just hold the food up against the wall, and as their nose comes over your hand, you drop the food, and they will suck it in that way. But yes, they do feed via suction when they're swimming over the sand and looking
Waving at you.
that way. They will just kind of uncover it and.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Anybody else? No other questions. Alrighty. So in this cooler, I have some food. I'm going to demonstrate how to feed them. So if you want to feed them, you have to come over to this wall. They don't eat along that wall. And actually, it's vitamin day, so I'm going to give them some vitamins first. I'm so happy for
That was funny.
So you want to take the food and hold it in the water and right up against the wall. And then as their nose goes over your hand, just drop the food and they will find it, okay?
Okay. Hello.
Gimme. Hold it in the water and right up against the wall.
Snacks.
Herring, clam, and capelin.
Snacks.
Just want to go touch some dead fish?
No. As it is, I like just want to wash my hands and touching that star a minute ago.
Star stinks.
Crystal, feed them.
Je pense qu'il va manger ta main. Hein?
Oh my God. Well, he likes them feeding skills. He gave a little dance and everything.
Thank you.
Ouais. Ben, on y va, chérie. C'est ici, là, sur la
Okay, I'm going to open it so everybody can see. So, whoever wants to stand, please head on back there. There is a step if you want to step up there and look over. And you can sit down. Anyone's comfortable sitting, take a seat right here on the benches or on this little thing right over here. I'm going to open this up, but I want you guys to keep this area nice for you. So you guys who just came in, feel free to come all the way in. We're going to keep this pathway clear right behind you guys so more people can come in. I'm going to direct them to the back of the room because everybody here got here first. So, feel free to come all the way in. And cameras are fine, but since you have it on stand, oh, come on out, Rose. There's tons of people here. Oh, here he comes.
Okay.
Up on the bench. And here is the star of our show. Why don't you guys give him a nice wave hello?
Hello.
Good. Nice job. Romulo, what do you have for them? Foot. Is anyone a translator? Does anyone know what that means? Hello. Food. I don't know. Only Romulo knows what that means. We don't know what that means, but it probably means fish. He's eating a lot of fish every single day. That's how he gets so big. Apparently he wants some more fish because he's opening his mouth, or he's getting really bored. And apparently the power just went out as well. But that's okay. Romulo's still very brave. Nice job, Romulo. Brave face. Good. High five, buddy. Good. So like I said, he is about 350 pounds.
South America.
South America, yes, smart crowd today, Romulo. Perfect. Good. He is 9 years old, so that is kind of like a troublemaking age, kind of like a teenager. Sometimes he gets in a little bit of trouble back there with his other 3 brothers. No. He would never like that. So today, we're actually going to talk about... Yeah, what's that?
Mario Brothers.
Good. Mario Brothers. That's an oldie but goodie. But if you played that every single day, you would get really bored of Mario Brothers, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
It's kind of, if you did the same thing every day, you would get bored. So if we gave Romulo fishicles or maybe a dog thing with fish in it, he would get bored as well. Want to stretch out those back flippers? Good. There we go. You ready to go? It is a lot of weight, yeah. All right, so we'll see. Good. It's going to be Whitney against Romulo. Who's on Romulo's side? Who thinks Romulo can beat her?
Right here.
Me too. Who thinks Whitney can beat Romulo? Good. Nobody. Whitney.
Oh, you guys have no faith in me.
All right, let's see.
All right, he's ready.
Okay. Good boy, Romulo. All right.
One more time.
Yes.
High five, buddy.
We have toys and games. He also is learning some new behaviors. So, guys, keep your voices down for me. There we go. So he knows all of these fun and cool behaviors right here, like laying on the ground.
Good.
Just look around him, make sure he has no cuts or scrapes. He can sleep around. There we go. This is his example of what he does when he has a hurt flipper.
Good.
But he's never had a hurt flipper, so we don't actually know if he does that. But that's a cool one. That's one that he has previously learned, and he's learned all the cool face ones. So he knows a whole repertoire, a whole list of about 100 behaviors. This one is impressive.
Good.
Yeah. So one of them that he is learning, his brothers back there actually know this one, but Romulo doesn't, involves the ball. But again, it's called the ball balance. And if you guys have noticed, Romulo can flare out his whiskers just like that. That means he's actually using his whiskers to hold the ball. His whiskers are about 10 times more sensitive than a cat or dog's whiskers, so they're actually feeling where the ball is going. Whitney has to help him out a little bit, but eventually he can just balance this by himself. So everyone be quiet, give him lots of time to concentrate here.
Good.
Nice job. So, he is learning that one. He's also learning a different one too. He's a very, a negative feline right now. So he knows how to say the word no. Show him the word no.
No?
Good. But he doesn't know how to say the word yes.
It's kind of a sore subject right now.
Good. So his mom trainer, who is not here at the moment, is responsible for training all these new fun behaviors. So eventually Romulo is going to know, kind of like his meat and potatoes in his diet. That's what makes him so big. Yeah, right down the hatch. There we go.
Good.
Like me a little more. Yeah. How did he come to the aquarium? That is a good question. It is kind of a long story. So, let's start from the beginning. Romulo was born in South America, and down there the government was actually collecting sea lions to be humanely euthanized. They were taken off of the beaches because they were being a pet species, the fishermen, stealing the fish out of their nets. That's his favorite thing. His favorite thing is fish. So, an American veterinarian heard about this and actually went down there to Uruguay in South America and collected